Well, now you make the choice. Belief or disbelief. Heretic is a brand new 2024 A24 horror film directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, starring Hugh Grant, Chloe East, and Sophie Thatcher. And I was very excited for this pretty much ever since the first teaser poster for this was released. I want to say that was back in June. Then the trailer came out. It was Hugh Grant terrorizing Mormons. I was interested to see what they did with the Mormon religion in this movie. The trailers have all been great, and the marketing for this movie was fantastic. This came out like mid-November, but that was like in the middle of my hiatus, and so I'm back now. So let's talk about Heretic, which was probably my most anticipated movie of the year the moment it was announced. So here we go, starting off with the good, and honestly, there's a lot to love here. I really loved just about everything in this movie. First of all, you got your two protagonists, these Mormon missionaries played by Chloe East and Sophie Thatcher, and I think they both do a really good job, and I love how they're both different personalities. Sophie Thatcher is the more seasoned veteran of the two, the more serious, while Chloe East is the younger, more hopeful type. I really like how their personalities uh, compare to each other. I really love how they act off each other. They got really great chemistry together. Yeah, I really, really liked both of them. And then you get the main villain of this movie, played by Hugh Grant. And he's this guy that they end up at his house, and they're teaching him, talking to him about the Mormon religion. And I really, really love what Hugh Grant does in this movie. I am a Hugh Grant fanatic. I have loved almost everything I've seen him in. Even the bad movies he's in, I've always said that he gives his all to his performance. And apparently, Hugh Grant is not a fan of a lot of his roles. Apparently, he's not a fan of acting on film, from what I've heard. But he never shows it in his performances. He's always giving his roles his all. And I just gotta respect him for that. And this is probably his best performance of his entire career, in my opinion. Damn near Oscar worthy, I'd say, personally. I thought that it was weird. He was very welcoming and very warm when you first meet him, and then you get a little bit further into their conversations and you realize, okay, something's off about this guy, but that we're still not worried. And then he becomes absolutely sinister by the time we reach the middle point of this movie. And wow, Hugh Grant, do whatever you want, man, because I will see anything you do after this movie, especially because, wow, just the way he's able to manipulate these two girls into going into his basement, into participating in this really messed up cat and mouse game with commentaries on the different religions of the world, just absolutely fantastic. And the story here is absolutely amazing. I've already pretty much given you a rundown of what the story is. You got these two Mormon missionaries. Hugh Grant has trapped them in a cat and mouse game. And I like how this movie actually has a lot more of a slow build up to the actual cat and mouse game, because they're talking in his living room, typical Mormon stuff, talking about the religion, and then they go back further into his house and he starts giving them a whole rundown of his personal beliefs, what he doesn't like about organized religion. And that's one thing I really enjoyed about this movie. As a Christian myself, I enjoyed that this movie was able to have a conversation about religion without coming across as your typical pretentious atheist. Unlike, say, Family Guy. It just comes across as pretentious in its commentary on religion, where this movie, much like Kevin Smith's Dogma, comes across very intelligent, actually has something to say about religion. I really enjoyed that aspect of this movie. And honestly, the atmosphere is great as well. The whole set design of Hugh Grant's house, the whole layout, it honestly feels otherworldly in a sense. Just how much this maze of a house just winds on. It feels like it shouldn't be this, it shouldn't feel this big, but it does. I really enjoyed that, and the camera work in this movie is amazing. Now, there is a shot in the trailer where you see Chloe East climbing a ladder and going through a really long tunnel. That kind of gave me the thought that this movie was going to involve some kind of labyrinth maze. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but the way that camera angle made it look like it was going to be a maze, absolute fantastic marketing, absolutely amazing shot for the movie. I love everything about this movie. Honestly, this is top 5 of the year for me by a long shot. Absolutely top 5 of the year. Also, Topher Grace has a cameo. Really great to see him pop up when he does. I really like Topher Grace, so fun to see him in this movie. And then let's talk about the ending. I'm not going to get into everything that happens in the ending because I don't want to talk spoilers outside of my comment about the maze thing. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I did. It's been a couple weeks. Leave me alone. I really like the ending of this movie. There's a lot of people interpreting the ending in different ways, and I think that that's a really good thing. That this movie had an ambiguous ending to where everybody gets their take on what they think the ending means. And honestly, I thought it was a very beautiful, hopeful ending, in my opinion. I thought it was really, really breathtaking how they pulled it off. And also, one genius thing I forgot to mention about the commentary on religion, comparing the 3 main religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, with different versions of Monopoly, with The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies, with Creep by Radiohead, and then with Star Wars The Phantom Menace. I just thought it was a really genius breakdown of everything in that context. But that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And honestly, I'm not even gonna give you the runaround. There's nothing bad about this movie. So, on to the final thoughts. I loved Heretic. It is, like I said, top 5 of the year, easily. It's just an absolutely amazing movie. It actually has an intelligent conversation about religion. Heretic is one of the best of the year. I love everything about it. Hugh Grant deserves an Oscar nomination for this, and I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Heretic. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have seen it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.